talk about the bigger picture in terms of the relegation picture, because clearly this weekend there is a big game at Portman Road, probably the biggest game of the season. Wasn't at all helped, let's be honest, friends, by Leicester City winning yesterday, Rossi. I was not expecting that. They go and beat Spurs. My wife is absolutely delighted. She really has not stopped talking about it, pointing out where Town are and where Leicester are, because now Leicester are obviously outside of the relegation zone. So, Rossi, this game on Saturday is going to be called a must-win. Now, a lot of people will rally against this and go, it's not technically a must-win because they don't need to win and they can still stay up. I don't care about that. They're playing the bottom side at home. They're in a relegation fight. For me, this is the very definition of a must-win. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong, my friends. You're right, because, big game. Southampton, we've had ding-dongs with them, haven't we, in the past? We only just about got a point at their place early in the season. Of course, Sam Morsey scoring that goal. Be it at Portman Road, we've got to start winning home games. So this is the one we can definitely win. So we're going to have to bring it all. The boys are going to have to be backed by us. So Leicester winning was not ideal. When I saw that result, I was like, oh dear. But then a lot of people said, oh, Leicester out the picture now. It's just us and Wolves. But I don't know. I always felt Leicester they could just somewhere, because they were still only a point away from us. So it wasn't like they were like 4 or 5 points away from us. They were only a point, and obviously they went on to win. And obviously it's Spurs though. Spurs they're in trouble, aren't they?
It's quite fun.
Yeah, right, it is. Yeah, poor Ange. But just doing a Spursy. But we've got to win our home games and we've got to beat Southampton, because if not, we're deep in trouble, boys.
Essentially, AJ, there's 4 teams and there's 3 relegation spots, so only one can survive. Everton obviously won again at the weekend. They look like they're going to be out of it. Wolves gave Arsenal a bit of a scare, ended up losing, and then obviously Leicester yesterday winning. Is there a danger, mate? Because this is what worries me about Saturday, that people look at Southampton and go 6 points on course to be the worst Premier League side ever. But they've actually, if you look at their most recent games, they almost beat Man United. I know they lost at home to Newcastle, but they scored 2 goals. One of them was disallowed. So it's not going to. The danger for me is that people go, oh yeah, we'll beat Southampton, easy. But that's I fear that it's not going to be that easy on Saturday.
Yeah, well, one thing as well to mention is that this is a big game this weekend. There's another one. Everton are hosting
Leicester, yeah.
Oh, that is quite big, because obviously it could be a brilliant weekend for Town, or it could be an absolutely horrendous one. Really could swing either way. In terms of the Town game, I think my fear, there's a couple of sides to it. Southampton, as you say, have been better. You even look at the Forest game. They went to Forest, who were right at the top of the division, and lost 3-2, which is pretty competitive still. They are much more competitive, I'd say. They are consistently second best, but they're not getting outclassed. I mean, the Brentford result aside, probably the last time you go back to them being really poor would be the Southampton game. That was under Russell Martin. So I think that Ivan Juric has kind of steadied the ship. And the other concern I have is they don't have anything to lose. I think it's widely accepted, probably at the stage, that they are down, which is pretty damning to say in January, but it means that they've got full eyes on what's going to come up in the summer and preparing for the championship and all those different kinds of things. They've not spent really at all over January, I think, knowing that they want to save money for the summer and preparing for the championship. And what that means is you've got a team that, as I said, they don't have anything to lose. They can go and play freely, open attacking football. And I think that's why you've seen them be more competitive in the last few weeks. And this is going to be another example of that. So this is one where if Town are not at their best, I can see, well, as we have with any team in the Premier League, you can end up on the wrong side of a poor result. So they absolutely have to put in a strong showing here. And it's not one of those where they can not look at their best and coast through because Southampton have been poor. This is a team that can hurt you. Scored, 4 goals in their last 3 against good teams, Man United, Forest and Newcastle. They know where the back of the goal is, and they can also be pretty tight defensively, still tighter than they were under Russell Martin. So it's going to be, I'd say, maybe a harder game than some people might expect.
Is it a must-win?
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Well, I mean, again, by definition, no. If they were to lose to Southampton and beat Everton, Leicester, Wolves,
I
at the
know,
end of the season,
I know.
Tottenham. Yeah,
Yeah.
but let's say they could even just win probably those 4 games. They stand a decent chance. But yeah, I think at this stage, given the games coming up as well, going to Villa is going to be hard. Tottenham home still going to be really difficult. Man United, Palace, Forest. Then you're getting into April. You can't keep kind of playing it down. I will pick up the points somewhere. This is pretty much your best opportunity to do it. So I think it's as close to a must-win as you're going to get.